Hi and welcome to Movies Suck. Oh dear, this sort of thing just doesn't stop, especially with Star Wars. We had the sequel trilogy, which was mind-numbingly bad. Okay, that's the politest way I can put it. It was terrible. Extremely terrible, unless you're a little child, you didn't grow up with any of the other Star Wars series, and this is the first thing you ever saw. But this is Star Wars we're talking about, Disney Star Wars. So what they thought to themselves was, we really need to just cement our impact on the Star Wars legacy by creating the High Republic. Something that I've covered a few times previously, and it doesn't get any better no matter how many times you cover it. And so Star Wars thought, how can we make this situation worse? How can we do something that makes people hate this series even more? What can we do? Yeah, let's hire a racist. Let's hire someone who specifically hates a particular race. And if they don't specifically hate that race, why do they keep going on about it? It's an interesting question. Let's read this story a bit further and see what we can learn about this particular situation. Krystina Arielle, who recently announced she will be the host of the newly announced, that's a lot of announced going on in that little section there, Star Wars The High Republic show, appears to take issue with white women and white people in general. She wrote on Twitter, "I can officially scream I'm the host of the new official series Star Wars The High Republic show." Why would there be a High Republic show? What on earth is this supposed to be about? There seems to be some big Disney Star Wars push to make a whole series of crap around this High Republic thing that everyone's already panned. Ariel is announced as the host of the new show when Star Wars and Lucasfilm officially launched their High Republic publishing initiative. On StarWars.com they wrote, the panel introduced host Krystina Arielle, who will be taking fans in a deep dive behind the scenes with creators, artists, authors in the new series Star Wars The High Republic show. Yeah, I don't get it. It's a comic book and apparently some books. Are they making a cartoon on this as well, or some sort of live action TV program? What is this girl gonna do? This just seems to be a way of trying to showcase the weirdos that you have behind the scenes at Disney Star Wars. Do we really want to see these people? Everything we've heard shows that they're gonna be a pretty nasty cesspit of a place. Bad enough than Rian Johnson. In a live stream accompanying the launch, Ariel provided a brief pitch about the show. If you're anything like me, you've probably got a lot of questions about this exciting new era of Star Wars, and luckily for you, I'm going to be sitting down with the creative forces behind the High Republic to get to those answers by asking them pre-arranged questions that they've already had pre-arranged scripted answers written out for. So we learn nothing of any interest because you're part of the quagmire. You're like Joe Biden. You're part of it. You're involved in it. You're not going to ask the questions that we really want to hear. You're just going to perpetuate things. And it's pretty disgusting. And it's kind of hard to understand why they would have chosen this particular person. Or maybe it's obvious why they chose this particular person, because she seems to have a very certain set of beliefs that no doubt match very well with modern Star Wars. And it's shown down here. Things she said about white people. Generally, she's just gone on about them being racist. This is pretty much the crux of what she's on about. She just keeps telling people they're racist and that they should get lost and various other. And she spent some time doing so. As you can see, there's one message, 2 messages, 3 messages, 4 messages, 5 messages, 6 messages, 7 messages, 8 messages, 9 messages, 10, 12, 13. It goes on and on and on. She spent a lot of time complaining at white people for being white, and apparently the color of them automatically makes them racist, because she specifically says white people. She at no point says specific white people, not all white people, a few of them, the tiny minority. She seems to be talking absolute rubbish, and she's obsessed with it. And the thing is, I've been through some of these posts, and she was told off at the time when she made some of these comments, she was told off by various people on Twitter about how racist she was being. And it kind of feels like Star Wars have seen this and thought to themselves, that person fits our agenda. We're, anti certain races, and this one fits our agenda. Let's hire this girl who is very openly against a specific set of people. So she'll be perfect for our program. Won't cause any problems at all in the future, obviously. And when these tweets were dug up, she suffered some backlash, which is actually really bad. I mean, I think she deserved being told off at the time when she made the tweets, and she was extremely told off at the time when she made the tweets. But I didn't see any tweets that got as nasty as this. I mean, I can't believe people were saying this online, but then online is where you go to be a bit nasty to people anonymously, essentially. Although these days they go to a lot of effort to try to make sure you're not anonymous because they want to cancel you and ruin your life, no matter what you do. So she took to social media and posted these things. I'll linger on the screen a little bit, but yeah, you can read these tweets, and these were really horrible. I'm not going to leave these on screen too long because some of them have bad words that you're not allowed to use these days if you're of a certain persuasion. And by persuasion, I mean I'm talking about your skin color. And honestly, some of these things that she was sent were really horrible. This is probably all of the things she was sent, like all 8 things or 7 things that some nasty individuals sent to her, although some of them are obviously quite accurate, why is Star Wars hired her to do something when if this had been the other way around and it had been someone of the opposite race, the race that she doesn't like, if that particular race had been saying these things about the races that she does like, they would have been fired, cancelled, and they wouldn't even be able to be seen, let alone heard. Because as we know, these days, if you say the wrong thing, they try to make sure that you can't say anything at all. I'm surprised at this point they're not going around slapping tape over people's faces in real life, let alone banning them off of social media. So it's pretty disgusting. She's a pretty nasty piece of work, and it's shocking that she was hired. I'm sure she's a nice enough person generally, but her opinions are pretty bad and very general. Because she thinks all of you people out there that are the wrong colour are bad. Every single one of you. Because she doesn't do anything except generalise. So anyway, she's a pretty nasty piece of work. And then we find that Star Wars officially endorses her. Yes, that's right. Star Wars officially endorse her point of view. Star Wars community is one of hope and inclusivity. We do not stand for bullying and racism. We support Krystina Arielle, who is responsible for bullying and racism. Yeah, a bit strange, Star Wars. What were you thinking of? And we know what they're thinking of because, well, they're not exactly lily white, are they? Remember John Boyega when those original posters came out for the Star Wars The Force Awakens? And he was like splashed across the screen all big and you could see him really well and like, yeah, look, that's John Boyega. And then when they released it in China, they said, Chinese people, they don't like those particular people. So we have to make him small, little tiny person and hide him. Yeah. Hello, hypocrites, Star Wars. We know your game and we don't like it. Please, Disney, stop destroying Star Wars. You're ruining it for everybody. And obviously there's a bunch of notes on here about the sort of nasty things that Star Wars have been doing and people calling out Star Wars for what they are. Nasty hypocrites who seem to have an agenda. We all know what the agenda is, but we're not allowed to talk about it anymore because the internet is not a place of free speech anymore. And if you do exercise your right to free speech, well, you're going to get shut up. They won't, necessarily force you to stop, but as they say, your right to free speech stops when you exit your house. It stops when you go online. There is no right to free speech anywhere now. It's purely wishful thinking. You may be able to say what you want to your very close friends, but you can't say what you want to the world in general without them trying to shut you the hell up by one way or another. So this is why this Krystina Arielle gets to say whatever she wants, doesn't matter how she says it, she's of the right persuasion. This all goes one way and one way only. This is Movie Sucks signing out. Leave a like, share, subscribe. I will catch you guys on the flip side. You be careful out there. The walls are closing in.